Well, hello, my crafty friends. Long time no see. It's been nearly 2 months since I've done one of these. Um, what can I say? Well, I've been really busy doing and finishing my quilt, which I've done and finished. So it took a little bit longer than what I thought it was going to do. Yeah, I was bogged down with that. And so thought, and it was always in the back of my mind, I must get a car done, I must do a video, I must get back on YouTube. So here I am. And so what have I got for you today? Well, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to slightly change it. So it's a masculine card. And if I hold it up, you can see we've got a lot of bits going on here. So we've got a nice background with a embossing folder. These words, I will explain about the words. I've got a nice reef knot, which I've done, the anchor, lighthouse, shells. So I'm going to use some of these elements, but I'm not going to use all of them. As I say, I'm going to change it around a little bit. And the reason I'm doing that is so that you can see that you can do and change things around. So if you haven't got everything, you can still more or less do a card. So if that makes sense. If you do like what you see, please like and subscribe. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Just hit the subscribe button and then you'll get notifications on my future videos. And what I will say is, it's just me. I don't represent or belong to any particular company. It's just me on my own, doing my own thing as and when I feel like it. And all the stuff that I've gleaned and been taught and what have you over the years, I just pass on, and I like teaching and sharing what I've been taught, and I'm still learning. So yes, so it's just me. I don't belong to any company. So that's it basically. So yeah, so if you like and subscribe and share on other social media platforms that you belong to, any particular groups that you might belong to on Facebook or Insta or whatever, just please like and share. That'd be absolutely brilliant and thoroughly appreciate it. Anyway, so okay, back to the card. So I'm going to do a theme and variation on this one. Now, the products I've used in that one all come from, let me just lean over and get the bundle. And it's from Crafter's Companion Coastal Collection, and I absolutely love it. Primarily because it's such a masculine themed set of papers. The papers are in themselves are just gorgeous. Now, let me just explain. On here, you can see the words. If I just hold that up a bit, yeah, yeah, you can just about see the words. The words are there. Yeah, seashells on the seashore, and I on my card just cut them out, distressed the edges, inked it with walnut stain, and there you go. That's how I did that. So the words do actually come from the pad, and but yeah, and these will just make excellent masculine cards. But also, if you're going away to the beach or summer holidays and you're into scrapbooking, this will be ideal. If you can get the pad still. But yeah, and as you can see, I got two. Always do. And this is the rest of the collection. You've got the lighthouse, you've got the embossing folder of the lighthouse, stamp and die, stamp and die, stamp and dies, stamps, stamp and die, and the 3D embossing folder. So that all came with a collection. The other thing that I just used was this one, the lighthouse on this. So this was the lighthouse I used on my actual card here, and I did it in white card and just went around the edges with old paper because I wanted something subtle but not too heavy. So that's how I did that, and that's what I've used. Now I've already die cut this one, so I'm not wasting time putting a die cutting. But obviously, if you obviously follow the manufacturer's instructions for your particular machine, for a particular sandwich. And just to give you a heads up, that was what the 3D embossing photo looks like when it's, which is this one, and that's what it embosses like, and it's just so much detail in it. It's really good. So that's that. So okay, so as I say, I'm going to switch it up a bit, and I'm going to use a white card blank this time, and I'm going to use one of the papers, and I'm going to cut it down to a 6x6. I don't know if I'm going to use that or might, because I want to keep the lighthouse, you see. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. So make sure what I do is, and I'm going to have this as a tent photo, I think, so that means I'm going to keep the fold line at the top. So I'm going to quickly measure this, and I've got 5 3/4. So I'm going to cut this piece of background paper down to 5.5 by 5.5. So if I go 5.5, what happens if I go that way? Can I do that? Yes. Go for it. And then I'm going to go 5.5 that way. So hopefully that will give me my card. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tear this, and I want to tear it right down to the middle roughly. So I'm just going to roughly draw a pencil line. Right, where's the middle? So 5.5, so it'd be 2 3/4. 2 3/4 roughly be about there. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to roughly tear this. And then I'm going to tear it the other side, roughly around there. Now I'm not going to take it. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do something slightly different this time. There we go. So I hope you've seen that. So all I've done is just basically tore it down, measured roughly where the middle is, and used my ruler to just tear it gently, and also down the other side. And then you have got, and then use the pencil to roll it, and you've got a nice like scroll effect. Right, let's unroll that and let's do some inking. So let's get my inks, which I forgot to get out. Which I've I did get them out. So let's let's see what we've got here. Let's go for the gathered twigs, and let's just get a applicator going. Get a map. Right, so all I'm going to do is just very lightly, just go over the edges. And then around the other side. And then we can go on down there. And then around the edges. So and if you want to, you can actually rough the edges up. Just get your scissors. Distress it that way. Don't matter about rips or tears, we can sort that out. That just adds character to, and if you want to rough this up a bit more, you can do so. Don't worry about the rips, that will just add more to the character. Just gonna get a shabbier, chicy bit more, and we could just ink all that up now with our distress ink, which is vintage photo. Just get it in there, just get the ink down. Cool. So just be careful with your, that's why I haven't gone right to the end. So just make sure it's all nice and inked up. There we go. And if necessary, we can also just give that a nice, and then we can get our pencil and just re-roll this more. There we go. And then we can get our right. So I'm just going to leave that as it is at the moment, because before we stick that down, we need to do our reef knot. So I'm going to get a bit of twine and make sure you cut enough to wrap around. Yes, without, yeah, I think that will be enough. So I'm going to cut 2 lengths like that, and I'll show you how to do a reef knot. And it just makes a nice little accessory to your card. So 2 pieces of string, roughly in the middle. So we go right over left and under, and then we go left over right and under and through that little loop, and that creates our reef knot. And don't pull it too tight, just gently ease it in, and there we go. Don't worry there, actually, yeah, and I'm going to undo that. Actually, I am going to make them a bit longer, ridiculously longer, because that's going to be too short otherwise. So yeah, and this is cheap enough anyway, so you can use ordinary string and get your distress reinkers out and distress it. So that's the other way. So anyway, back to this. Right over left and under, and then right over left and under, and then gently pull it together, and then we have our reef knots. So get a bit of I will use the red liner tape because it's stronger. And just make sure you're going to put it on the right side. So just down by the bottom there, and the same for the top. Put that out of the way, and then another little trick is to get your bone folder and just completely rub so you've got a really good contact with the paper underneath. So just gently go over, and then we can peel this off. Like that. You can actually dig into the red plastic a little bit, and it should hopefully just pull off. As so. Just like that. There we go, and that can go into the bin. Right, so we get our reef knot roughly in the middle. So hold it with one hand, and you can slide this over. Trim those off. There we go. And then we've got the other bit on the other side. That can go down and then fold over like so. Trim that off, and we have got a nice reef knot going on with our card. Right, so now what we can do is put some tape on. So I've just got some of Crafter's Companion snail. And if you want to put a bit down the sides here, you can do so, just to make sure they are like and that can go and be attached to the front of our card, and just place it down very gently. Oh, one other thing. Actually, I don't think that matters. Right, so yeah, so I'm gonna next thing put a little stamp sentiment in there. So if you want to, you can actually stick this down, which I think I might incline to do now. I think I might, yeah. So I'm just going to roll this back up again. Yeah, that's a bit better. And also you can actually put something in there as well if you want to. So, no, that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, there you go. Cool. I think that will. Cool. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much. So I'm going to leave that like it is. I'm going to get me stamps. And what one? And the nice thing about these as well, all on the front, you've got all your Dance with the Waves. I like that. So let's get that one. And I have got... Now, before you actually get round to stamping, make sure the stamp you've chosen is actually going to fit, and that will just about fit on there. And I'm going to get myself a block. Sorry about that. Right, let's get a block. I should have got this earlier, but I forgot. Right, and I'm going to use Vintage Sepia because that will tie in with everything that's going on with our card. So hopefully don't worry about this. Cool. That's nice. Stamped well. So, and then we can just squeeze this up a little bit. Settle that back down again. Cool. So we have got at the moment, clean that later. I've got the cleaning stuff here. So you know what I'm like with cleaning stamps. Get your stamps cleaned. Yeah, always get in the habit of cleaning your stamps. Because then you know they're ready to use and go the next time. So I'm going to put this back on its sheet and carrier sheet so I don't lose it. And put that back on there, that on there. That on there, that in there. So, put that away because I don't need that. So, cool, there we go. So, we have got our background, we've got our reef knot, we've got a little scrolly bit going on, torn piece, we've got our sentiments. So, let's add a few of the embellishments. Now, as I said, I did do the lighthouse, so I can squeeze that along the bottom there, tuck it in behind the rope if necessary, my little reef knot. Yeah, I think that will work. That'll go. Right, so I'm going to just add a few 3D foam pads. get these little bits off, and then we can attach the lighthouse to our card and just gently lift and slide that under, and put that down, and then we have our lighthouse. And then we've got a few shells, so we can add a few shells because I've already die cut them and colored them, so we'll add a few of those. So peel off the back, and then we can put that going along there, and then we've got an anchor. So let's put an anchor. And then one down the middle. Peel these off. And then we can, and then again, just lift your rope a little bit. And that, I'm going to leave it at that. And you can actually put some gems up there if you want to, down in the corner. But that is actually all I'm going to do with that, because I don't want to go too mad and overdo it. So let's get rid of that. So there you have it. There's the two cards, and again, you've got a bit of paper left over. So yes, again, these pads will make excellent scrapbook pages if you've been on your summer holes, you've been to the beach. So yeah, they are lovely. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Again, please like and subscribe, and I'll try not to keep it too long next time, and I will see you soon. Ta for now. Bye.